Alright, we are on our way into the Shady Side Gym, as I will call it. I don't have pre-workout, and I have not been running pre-workout for, I want to say, a couple months now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's expensive, usually. But maybe I'm just taking a break, I don't know. But I got an energy drink tonight. One of those Ghost Energy. I did not have work today. I was able and needed to take the day off of work to take care of the family. My wife had her wisdom teeth removed, and so I have been just on dad duty all day and making sure that she has a bowl full of ice cream and Jello and everything else within reach. So yeah, that has been my day, is just taking care of everybody. And having your wisdom teeth removed is not fun or easy. I wish my wife a speedy recovery, but also, good grief. We work, both of us, a lot, doing our different jobs and roles, and she needs to slow down sometimes. And so I really hope that she is just able to take a little bit of extra rest and recovery over what she needs. All that to say, tonight is chest day, and I'm probably planning some variation of the same old standard, which, if you've watched any of the other ones, tends to be, I usually do some sort of warm-up for my back, some sort of lat movement, pull downs, or whatever, just to get my spine in the correct position for some bench. And then I do some standard flat bench. I usually do about 3 sets of that, 10 reps a piece, or honestly just however many I can squeeze out. 10 is the goal. And then go for incline. I do flies, I'll do dips, maybe some pec deck. With chest day, I really just kind of like to do whatever feels good and whatever's available. Sometimes I might end up doing incline on the hammer strength machine, and then I might end up doing incline on the Smith, and then I might end up doing incline, something else, like a couple sets on each, or some nights I'll do a whole bunch of flies of different angles and variations. It really just where your chest is at. So yeah, we're just gonna see what we see. Of course, I did not charge my phone or prepare at all for gym night tonight, so I think I'm riding at like 30% right now. So I'll probably only try and record probably 1 or 2 sets of each movement, and that way I can still have my music. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I am dragging today because of the continued cut. I found a lot of little filling things to eat that really satiate me, but at the same time are really kind of low calorie. I had a protein shake at one point today that was about 2 8-ounce servings, so 16 ounces total of skim milk with 2 scoops of protein powder and the whole ice tray worth of ice, and then some of that sugar-free Hershey's syrup in there, blended up until it was nice and frothed all the way to the top of the blender, And I will tell you that drinking a whole blender full of that really filled me up. And then you get to that weird point in the cut where, you know, you're kind of, I'm feeling full, I'm not hungry, but I can tell that my body is like craving, you know. I've taken to buying some of those liquid IV that have, you know, like 12 grams of carbs in there and all that, just to make sure I'm getting all the electrolytes and stay hydrated and all that, and that usually helps curb a lot of the other cravings that I have. But also, man, if I wasn't running up and down the stairs all day long filling up the wife's ice cream bowl with some, you know, good old-fashioned vanilla ice cream, like, if I wasn't tempted to take a scoopful for myself, I'd be lying. Yeah, so long day, but we're gonna get after it. And thankfully we're actually going to the gym sooner than like midnight. It's only 10:20 right now, so maybe we'll have a little bit of time to hang out. I actually need to wake my wife up in 2.5 hours to give her antibiotic. So we have a little bit of time to kill. So hopefully we'll get some good chest in today, and we'll just see what we come up with. We will see you there. Alright, well, I did 3 sets on this bench. I do not mind the hammer strength incline bench, but I will tell you that this thing, I hated it. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I didn't get the height, I didn't find my sweet spot for height or anything like that, but this bench kind of sucks. It's the worst. I usually can go, you know, 3 plates reps on like the hammer strength machine, but this thing just didn't feel smooth. You ever hop on a machine and it feels like any sort of machine that relies on like a pulley system, and it feels like one side of the machine is requiring a lot more effort than the other side? It's one of those weird things where it just felt like the pulley was off and everything. But it was a busy night at the gym, and I just wanted to get in some reps. So I didn't do very many. I think I did 3 sets on that, and then switched over to flies, which I don't know why I love flies so much, but flies just make me happy. I promise I'm not doing them at a weird angle. It always looks like one of my arms is going back further than the other. And I try and maintain a pretty strict form. But at the same time, I'm trying to go freaking heavy. This is about near full stack. And I set my phone up at a weird angle. So it just kind of always looks a little bit wonky. But I love doing flies, and then while I'm set up, I'm like supersetting. I feel like I've said this before, but flies are such a kind of isolation movement on the chest and don't require so much work of the triceps and everything, that since I do a chest and tricep split, I like to do a superset. So you'll see here, this is just moments later, I switched over one side of the stack and am doing some tricep movements. This is not my favorite tricep movement. I prefer to do a lot of press downs and overhead movement. I like to get the easy bar and do overhead presses like that, or do overhead extensions with the rope and all that. But since I'm already here set up, this is a nice addition to flies. that I can just throw in there. And then that was 3 sets of this. So if you're seeing a trend here, I'm doing 3 sets of each movement, sometimes 4, with triceps adding usually superset in between. And again, I don't record every single freaking set and every single rep I do in the gym because I'm trying to be respectful of other people's spaces, and I am so grossed out when I see people that are just like very clearly not comfortable being filmed in the gym, in the backdrop of people's videos. And you know, it also depends on what sort of gym you're going to. You know, I know that there are a number of fitness influencers out there that will record in the gym at, you know, 3 a.m. or if you are like a super fancy fitness influencer, maybe you even get your own private time in the gym after hours or something. Oh man, that was pretty sweet. Maybe you get your own private time in the gym or whatever, but you know, you just get to see what you get to see. Oh no. So, you also might hear my dog in the background and my wife texting me over and over again as my wife sexually harasses me and my dog sexually harasses the neighbors. But yeah, I am not the biggest fan of this movement. I usually don't go above like 45 pounds on this because I just don't feel it as deep as I would like to, and I know that you know, there's a lot of not to call shots, I'm not going to name names, but there's a lot of fitness people out there that will tell you, you know, you need to do this movement or that movement and that's going to be the best thing for you or whatever. But honestly, like, if for what we all have different bodies, we all have different genetic makeups, and if you find that a movement does not feel super great for you, you know, first make sure you're performing the movement properly. Second, make sure that you don't have any sort of imbalances, you know, like my shoulder is out of whack or my, you know, tricep has this injury or whatever. And then finally, if you're just not getting the results that you would like to see out of it, you're not feeling the full range of motion, the depth, you're not getting a pump out of it, whatever the case, like, just find a different movement. I like doing dips a lot, and that sounds like a rapper name, Dips a Lot. I like doing dips, and I don't ever really try and do weighted dips just because they're usually literally a pain in the dick to get all set up and all that when you have to like loop the cable around and everything. But I like to superset dips with something else because I have said before, dips are like squats for your chest. I think that they are something that is crucial to every chest or tricep day, depending on your split. Even if you're not going crazy, you're not throwing, you know, plates on there. Like, a lot of times if I'm really feeling it, I'll throw like 2 or 3 45s on the chain and hook it around your waist and all that and do the whole big show. But I just like to do dips as kind of like a mid-workout stretch, good movement. I don't go crazy because I'm not really going for a full, complete, like, burnout failure. I'm really just kind of trying to get a really good stretch out of my chest halfway through my workout before I go into the other movements. I addressed this at the end of the video, but I show a portion of the movements I did on chest day, but I'm not showing my flat bench, partially because it's in the middle. The pec deck that I used today and the chest, the bench that I used were in the middle of the gym floor. If you look to the right of me, they're over there in the middle of the gym floor, and believe it or not, this is the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's pretty full and I don't want to be bothering anybody, but I did do flat bench, and I think I talked about it more in my post-workout. But this, I hate this. I don't know about you guys, but I hate this tricep, or this pulley system at the end of the like whole monkey bar pulley setups they have. I feel like it's such a weird movement. The resistance is different, and I think it's more catered towards a V-bar setup, some sort of angular setup, which is why I changed the grip over the rope. And that's not for sake of being able to lift more on the standard pulley that has like the adjustable height to it, but more so just the type of resistance with the rope just doesn't feel as natural to me on this setup there. So I like to do some sort of angular tricep movement on that. And then I have banged, so this is my superset here. Sorry, I was distracted by my dog trying to assert her dominance over the little boy dog next door. But I was supersetting this with the bench in the background, and I usually don't superset. I say I usually superset all of my workouts for most every lift, but I don't superset on my like heavier lifts like flat or incline bench. I'll superset the machines. I will superset flies and dips with some sort of tricep movement, but I do not superset bench or incline bench, just because I like to really make sure that my tricep is not fatigued and have a nice kind of break period in between sets. So that's the only time I do not superset. I hope you're tired of hearing superset by now. And so this is kind of unusual for me to be doing tricep extensions in between my reps on standard flat bench, but I just wasn't going too crazy heavy on bench this day, more going for reps. I was hitting about 245 or 10 to 12 rep range, and then again, and then like 275 for 7 or 8. Alright, well, honestly, that was a pretty badass workout. I started with incline, and then ended up doing 4 sets on incline, did 4 sets on flies. I did flat bench in between. I started at, starting at 245 for 10, and then I did, I think, 265 for 10, and then finished off at 275 at 8. I don't like recording flat bench. I have been benching for 15 years, and it doesn't matter if you are an Olympic lifter that is pushing 600 pounds on bench, or you are a newbie lifter or somewhere in the middle. There's always going to be somebody out there that has some sort of critique on your bench form. Oh my god, we just fell over. Are you okay? But there's always going to be somebody out there that has some sort of critique on your bench form. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really like care or have time for it. Part of being 29, but also a dad of 3 children, means that I just don't have the energy for those sorts of debates. If you're an Olympic lifter, I bench too narrow, maybe. If you're a bodybuilder, I bench too wide. If you're a bodybuilder, there's too much back arch. Or if you're an Olympic lifter, there's not enough back arch. I don't care. Honestly, the real answer is that I don't want you guys to see that I just only, always, exclusively bench suicide grip. I don't know why. It's not a cry for help. But also, I think this is the most important reason. Everybody that watches fitness videos routinely knows that there's a number of horrifying, awful bench press videos out there, whether it's chest separating from the bone, or the darker videos that you know what I'm talking about. We don't even need to mention. And I think it's a little bit of like, knock on wood, I kind of have a fear that when I start recording my flat bench, that's the minute I'm gonna die, because I have benched for nearly 15 years without really many incidents. I've tossed the weight, I've thrown it over my knees a few times, I've done the whole roll and dumped the weight, or brought it down to the stomach and then brought it down. I've done all of it. I know how to escape a failed set on heavy bench. But the day that I start recording my bench, I feel like is the day that something bad happens. So I don't know. I don't know about that. You guys just might not get to see that. I'll record dumbbell bench. You guys can see me do dumbbell benching. Just, drop it on my face or something. All that aside, we hit some incline. We hit some... Ooh, I forgot about that. We hit flies, flat bench, and dips. I wasn't feeling weighted dips. And I really just do dips just because I like the stretch mostly. I hit pec deck, but the pec deck machine is like in the middle of the gym floor, and there was a number of people that were over there that, I don't know, they were looking around kind of self-conscious. They kind of seemed like newer lifters to the gym, and I kind of took it as more of an opportunity to strike up a conversation and to getting a video of doing some pec deck. Just imagine what a pec deck looks like and my face on it, for better or for worse. And what else? I feel like I'm missing something. Flies, pec deck, incline, flat bench. I don't know. I did a bunch of tricep work, rope, and regular D-bar ring, press downs, and I did a lot of V-bar press downs. There's only so many I can record of that. It was pretty basic. I think I only really focused on like 4 tricep movements and did about 4 or 5 sets of each, and that's about it, honestly. It was in and out, I guess, in an hour and 20. I did a physique check at the end, and I am not one for doing physique checks, just because, really not excited to see what my kids' dinosaur nuggets have done to my love handles, but we'll see. Maybe for sake of accountability, I'll toss that up there at the end, just to, or somewhere, maybe right now, I don't know, just to see how the physique is looking. I'm not like super content with this cut, but also I am sub 200 pounds right now, and that is not a comfortable place for me to be. So I think we're going to I don't know how much longer I'm going to do this cut. I have never been a fan of being less than like 205. I'm not that tall. I'm 5'10". So 205 seems like a very comfortable weight for me on the very low end, but I'm sitting at 195 right now, and not like a really shredded 195 either. So I don't know, you can judge for yourself if I throw that physique check up there, but we live and we learn. And I don't know, maybe we'll start some sort of a like ECA stack or something like that just for the last couple weeks, just to get off those last couple pounds before we change gears and go back into winter bulk mode and hoodie season. So tomorrow maybe I'll be able to get some back in. I don't know, this push-pull legs, I might stretch it out into a 4-day split. We'll see. I guess it really also depends on how sore my wife wakes up tomorrow morning from the surgery, how much help she needs, and also how much the children need help. I really need to get a basement gym. So if I ever get above whatever sub count you need to get sponsors, and somebody wants to help me put together a home gym, life goals. Anyway, thank you guys. See you next time.